Hello everybody, welcome back. Yeah, we're going to talk about EOS. That's right, we're going to do that. If you can believe it or not, we're going to do it. So let's start on a very basic piece of analysis, very basic, which is a simple trend line of consolidation from here to here and down to basically where we are right now. Again, you know, it is a resistance. It's a descending resistance, which is not broken yet. Now you could do this, which basically makes it out to be a falling wedge, which actually has more likely chance of breaking out than breaking down on this, you know, as far as this is concerned. Now we are hitting the resistance right now, so obviously this might not be the one. We might fall back down to the bottom of the channel. Basically, you know, we're losing about half its current value, or maybe even more. So yeah, there is also that possibility. However, you know, this is a wedge of descending formations, which likely breaks out. And if it were to break out, you'd actually target the you know, the top of the channel here. So actually a decent move, over 100% move, even if you were to buy this particular top. We're talking about 130% move. And I know what you're saying. This is EOS. EOS won't do a 130% move. Well, it does do that sort of thing. So last cycle, we had a similar kind of analysis, which we were all very excited about at the time. I say very excited. We're in disbelief that it could even happen, right? Unfortunately for EOS, it happened very late on in its in the overall crypto cycle, and so when it finally did break out, yeah, it certainly did move. We broke out of this channel. We wicked down into it, December 2020. Altcoins were not popular around this level, trust me. And then when we finally reclaimed it and broke above it and retested it, we saw a move of basically about 447%. So not too bad. Look where it broke out from. It shot all the way up. Again, this is parabolic alt season time. Now, EOS does have a habit of being the last thing to move when it comes to alts in the form of an alt season. It marks usually the end, and it starts to do 30% in a day, you know, maybe 100% in a week. That sort of thing is not out of the realms of possibility, because we've seen it before, but it does normally mark the end of the season. So just be aware of that. I'm not suggesting this is something anyone should buy. This is for anyone who's holding EOS and is looking for some kind of hopium. Obviously, like I said, pushing a resistance, never really buy a resistance. It's kind of madness. No matter how bullish you are on something, I would never buy a resistance. I'm just putting something to you that maybe EOS is about to change its behavior. So we'll turn on all our favorites, all the noise. Let's turn on all the noise. And what we see is we're fighting this 200 exponential moving average. We're above the 200 simple. We're getting support on the 200 simple and the 10 exponential. So it does look like it wants to push on further, yeah, towards the top of this rough uptrend, this rough downtrend of the falling wedge. So just bear all this in mind. Yeah, this is a lagger. We speak about laggers all the time. What was the last lagger that we were looking at, which is not lagging anymore? It was Atom. There's loads of altcoins that are doing the same kind of behavior. So Atom hit the main resistance we were talking of and rejected in fine wickage right there. So yeah, we hit the top of the range, but until then we were battling around here: 200 simple, 200 exponential, horizontal line of resistance. Flipped it, popped it up to the next major level, and then rejected. So good stuff. Yeah, all targets hit on Atom's chart. This was a lagger. Again, we're talking altcoins of different shades here, so there are some that are much better than others. Ethereum's a little bit higher than all the others. We've got golden crosses, we're above all of these bad boys. So this is looking good for Ethereum. So this is ahead of Atom. Atom is ahead of EOS. EOS is basically the last of the I suppose you can still call it a top cap coin, perhaps, maybe. I'm not entirely sure where it stands on the crypto market cap. I don't really look at those sort of things, to be fair, or I don't keep up to date with them. So look, the daily has every chance of moving up to this level and breaking. So if that's the case, where are we going to get rejected from? Where is the next major levels of rejection? First one is going to be around 91. You can see these tops around here that formed. So we've got another target of like 91, almost 92. That would be one target. Obviously, we can see a zone around here between 130 to basically right 126. We'll put another target in there. And then outside of that, you're right up to the peak of where the descending and the falling wedges found. So that's your major top target for EOS. So 1, 2, 3, decent take profit areas. Don't go all in and try to go all out. Again, I'm not suggesting you buy this. To be fair, there's lots of other altcoins out there that are much better than this. You want to really go for something that's already trending and has much higher targets or a much bigger degree of success, or one that is likely to be already be in an uptrend already. And this one's technically not in an uptrend. We're looking for a breakout which might then go into an uptrend, which I would imagine will be nipped in the bud by the overall market. So we'll see. Have a quick look at some other aspects of this chart, like momentum. Momentum has slowed down on the RSI, but still good on the MACD. Money flow index is resetting on the daily down to around 69, which is still quite hot. 3 daily was very hot for the money flow index. It's sitting up here at 87. Again, it can go higher than this. We like to be higher on most of these, but this is a 3 day, so high reads on a 3 day, just like a weekly, do suggest when it does come down, it'll be pretty dramatic. So this is what so far this is like the third highest read on the Binance chart. It's quite hot. Let's have a look at the weekly. So the weekly actually does have plenty of room to move on this one. So that could mean volatility to the max on EOS before it even tries to hit its top target. There is another target up here on the weekly, 200 simple exponential, about 254. So can't rule that one out either, or over a slightly longer period. So look, the Hopium is here for anyone who holds EOS. I hold some EOS. I took profit on EOS on the way up here, but I always keep, a fair bit riding because you never know where it's going to go. And obviously, it went down here, which below my entry point. My entry point was around about 320 or thereabouts was my overall entry point. So yeah, obviously, made money out of that. But the rest that I kept riding is way below entry point now. So, but at least it made me some money. I don't know if anyone else does that, but that's how I do. I always have taken profits on the way up, and I always leave some for memorabilia. It's very rare that I get rid of all of it. I always keep some because you just don't know where some things will go, do you? So I just have this strategy of taking 25%, 25%, 25%, 25% of what your overall balance is. So your balance is always being reduced, but there's always some left in there if you're always taking 25% off the table for the most part. Unless you're absolutely adamant that you know where you want to get completely out of. But so that is that. So look, long story short, it's not all that bad. It actually does look quite good. I mean, we're pointing to these targets, 1, 2, 3, and finally a fourth, which is a Hopium target. In the short to medium term, if this situation with altcoins looking green continues, so I thought I'd make this video because it's probably been a while since anyone's ever made an EOS video, or if they even make them anymore. I know it's not very cool, and I can completely understand why, but I'm pointing to a altcoin which can and probably will do 100% pump, but I am absolutely 100% warning you against the risks of EOS, not just because it's a massive underperformer, but because it's also a lagger, usually the last thing to move, and whatever it does, upside, it's almost certainly going to be wiped off later on. So it's just for those of you that hold it. I'm not suggesting you buy it. I certainly won't be buying it. Maybe if it starts moving, I'll take some futures positions in it, but I absolutely will not be buying it, even though I am expecting over 100% move from it. It's just too much risk for me. Right, thank you for watching. Hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.